are the New York Jets' most interesting Hard Knock storylines? I have 10 that I believe every Jet fan is going to be following closely. Let's talk about it in today's Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Damn, does it feel good to have a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Another freaking game. Y'all fought your asses off. That was awesome.
Now that's what I call a hard knock.
You know, I understand the appeal with us. There's a lot of eyes on me, a lot of eyes on our team, a lot of expectations for our squad. So they forced it down our throats, and we got to deal with it.
Hit it! We have Garrett Wilson. Let's freaking go. We have Brees Hall. We are ready to win. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have an elite defense. You're welcome on the Jet bandwagon. Now, let's talk about the New York Jets. This is the Jake Asman Show.
Welcome in, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday. Hope you're enjoying another football-less weekend. It won't be that much longer until the New York Jets report to training camp later this week. And then, of course, the Hard Knocks cameras are going to be rolling. And in today's monologue, I want to talk about what I believe will be the 10 biggest storylines that HBO is looking to capture when practice starts and training camp with the New York Jets gets underway. Before we do that, Hard Knocks is going to be the Jets. That we know. The last time they did the show was 2010, so I went back in time. Shout out to Green and White Pinstripes for sending me this video. Here is a short snippet of what the Hard Knocks trailer looked like back in 2010 when the Jets agreed to do the show.
New York Jets live up to the hype and the hope of being Super Bowl contenders. The journey begins now.
Training camp, you working hard.
All we want is everything you got. We're trying to be a team that's synonymous with winning. We'll take on all takers. We don't care. We'll play you in a parking lot. We'll play you in an alley. We don't care where we play you. Our goal is to win the Super Bowl. We don't care if you like it or not. Let's be that team that nobody wants to play.
To his right, Sanchez pumps once, fires it deep right. Bam! That's Jet football. That's Jet football.
Yeah, baby. We'll blast down memory lane to get us going here. Once again, I can't wait for Hard Knocks. I don't think anything will beat the 2010 Jets, but the fact that we have the 2023 Jets with Aaron bleeping Rodgers on the show, if you're not pumped, I don't get it. I don't get it. I can't wait. And it's going to be a ton of fun to dive into it and talk all things Hard Knocks every week on the show. And make sure you sign up for my Patreon, because we're going to be doing a viewing party for Patreon-only users every Tuesday night. I'm assuming it's Tuesday. It could be Wednesday when Hard Knocks will air on HBO. If you're unaware what my Patreon is, it's $5 a month. You get bonus shows every month, only available to Patreon users. You also could join our Discord group chat when you're a Patreon member, meaning you can keep that Jet conversation rolling all the time, not just on YouTube. We got like 85 diehards in the Discord constantly chopping it up, talking about the Jets. So it's an awesome time. So check it out. The Hard Knocks bonus shows all summer are going to be a blast. Now, with that being said, let's break down the biggest Hard Knocks storylines. Here are my 10. And these are kind of in order of most importance, but it's certainly debatable. Number one, and it's the reason why they have the show, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers' transition from Hall of Fame quarterback of the Green Bay Packers to Hall of Fame quarterback and looked at as the savior for the New York Jets. His transition as a Jet is going to be the biggest storyline in episode 1. They're going to spend a lot of time playing clips of the last couple months and what he has said. They'll play the clip of him on McAfee saying his intention is to play for the Jets. That could be how the show starts. A montage of the Jets season falling apart last year. And then Aaron Rodgers saying his intention is to play for the Jets. Get ready for that. That's the biggest storyline. That's why they have the show. That's why they were picked. It's Aaron Rodgers. If the Jets signed Derek Carr, would they be the Hard Knocks team? Maybe. But once they added Aaron Rodgers and you knew they could be forced to do the show, you knew it was going to be them. If you didn't, you were being naive. So Aaron Rodgers, just everything Rodgers, his transition to the Jets, his interactions with teammates, his interactions with Nate Hackett, that is going to be the thing Hard Knocks looks to tell the story of. And I believe Aaron Rodgers will embrace being on Hard Knocks. I really do. I think he's playing a little coy with the whole, they forced it down our throats. This guy likes the attention, man. He's not afraid of it. He likes to get his opinions out there. Aaron Rodgers is the number one storyline with the Jets on Hard Knocks. That's obvious. They wouldn't have the show if he wasn't here. Number 2 involves Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh, what is he as a head coach? And how does he handle the team's expectations to be a legit Super Bowl contender? Robert Saleh, behind closed doors, is known by anyone in the NFL as a great speaker, a great motivator. They say his pregame speeches the night before every week are some of the most interesting and fascinating things that players have heard from NFL coaches. Zach Rosenblatt of The Athletic wrote a great piece about Saleh and how he is known around the league as someone who is just a great motivator, and his speeches before games get players going, make them think. Robert Saleh will become a big star from this show. He didn't want to do it, but neither did Mike Tannenbaum. And it worked out just fine for him and the Jets. But Robert Saleh is a huge storyline, and he's the head coach. Of course he's a storyline. And he'll come across, I believe, as a very likable guy throughout the show. He's already likable now. If you follow the Jets, you could question, what Robert Saleh is as a head coach. The answer is, through 2 years, we don't truly know. But we know he's a great guy. He's someone you'd love to have a beer with. He went golfing on Wednesday with the biggest Jet fan on the planet in Joe Beningo. Think about that. He went on Joe's podcast back in, February or March? And said at the end of that interview, we should go golfing sometime, Joe. And wasn't just saying that, was genuine, and actually played golf with one of the biggest Jet fans of all time. Robert Saleh is a good guy, and Hard Knocks will cover him up close. Number 3, and this is the biggest on-field storyline. It's also going to be a huge part of Hard Knocks. The offensive line situation. Left tackle, right tackle, center. All undecided. Robert Saleh told Joe B. when they went golfing on Wednesday, and I listened to Joe's podcast recapping the whole experience, that the Jets have 8 players for 5 spots on the offensive line, according to Saleh. And he said AVT is playing guard. Joe said, why not play AVT at right tackle? Saleh told him he could be a good tackle. He could be a Pro Bowl, Hall of Fame level guard. AVT is a guard. That's how they want to play him. Would it shock me if they needed to use him at tackle this year? No, they did it last year. They had no choice. But you hope to God they can get some injury luck. But the offensive line will be covered up close in Hard Knocks. Why? You got Aaron Rodgers. The narrative's going to be, can the Jets protect him? So the offensive line situation is a big one that's going to be covered on the show. Dwayne Brown's coming back from injury, as is Mekhi Becton, which brings us to the next storyline here. Mekhi Becton's recovery from injuries and everything he's been through the last 2 years. They're going to do a lot of up-close redemption type of narrative arc surrounding a guy like Mekhi Becton. He's a huge part of this. I'm sure they'll talk about AVT coming back from injury, Max Mitchell with the blood clots. Saleh said 8 players for 5 spots. I believe in a perfect world, it's Dwayne Brown, Laken Tomlinson, Joe Tippmann wins the battle at center, which will be covered in that battle for offensive line I mentioned in item 3. That's going to be a big part of Hard Knocks. And then obviously, when I give you the next storyline of Mekhi Becton's redemption arc, the other redemption arc that is obvious is Zach Wilson. They're going to spend a lot of time with Zach. I wonder if Zach will embrace the cameras, if they'll catch up with him. I think he should. I think Zach Wilson nationally has a narrative that, he's just some rich kid. He's stubborn. He's this, he's that, because of that press conference last year. When, if you know anything about Zach Wilson, it was a mistake, but he's not a bad guy. He's not a bad person. He's actually a nice person. His family seems great. And playing quarterback in New York is not easy if you play poorly. So I think the redemption arc surrounding Zach Wilson will be interesting. His development, him in the backup quarterback spot. He's going to play a lot in the preseason, man. Hard Knocks covers the preseason up close. Zach Wilson in the preseason is going to be a major storyline for this team. Hell, there might be some Jet fans that come away after this Hard Knocks thinking Zach's going to be good again if he plays well. And then Hard Knocks is going to accentuate that if he plays well. Jets forever might need to get a new pair of pants every Tuesday night if Zach Wilson actually goes out there and plays well against backups and guys who won't be on NFL rosters and some of these Hall of Fame games or preseason games, if you will. But that being said, the Wilson redemption arc is certainly right there with Becton. Number 6, Breece Hall's recovery from injury. Breece Hall is going to be a big topic here. They're going to say he was going to be the offensive rookie of the year if he didn't get hurt. Where is he at in his recovery? They're going to spend a lot of time, I think, talking about Breece Hall. And we'll see if Dalvin Cook's on this team. How does he factor in to that storyline? The Jets running back room as a whole, I think, could be interesting. But Breece Hall is certainly going to be someone that we cover in HBO's Hard Knocks. I'd be shocked if they don't do something on him. I forget what number I'm on because I'm moving things around here. I think I'm on number 6. Let's go with number 6. Number 6, bottom of the roster guys trying to make the team. Denzel Mims, Ashton Davis. These guys, last chance maybe with the Jets. They're this year's David Clowney. Kellen Clemens. Remember Kellen Clemens versus Kevin O'Connell, who's now the Rams, not the Rams. He's now the Vikings head coach. He was the Rams OC. Kevin O'Connell and Kellen Clemens had a quarterback battle for number 3 in 2010. Hard Knocks covered it. So bottom of the roster guys trying to make the team. This is their livelihood, man. We all talk about the star players as fans because that's the focus. But, for, player number 51 and 52 and 53 on an NFL roster, they're not worried about getting playing time. They're worried about getting a check so they can feed their families and make a living. And that's what Hard Knocks does better than any show. They bring you inside the lives of these guys as they're grinding it out, trying to make a football team. Number 7, Ron Middleton. And not just Ron Middleton, but he's my pick for the personality that emerges that nationally people don't know about that come away from the show saying that guy is freaking awesome. Ron Middleton, for me, is that guy. But what other coaches get a chance to showcase their personalities? What players, maybe that we don't know too well, get a chance to showcase theirs? But this guy's going to be the biggest star.
Moves, hit it. If it don't move, hit it. And if you're not sure, guess what? Hit it.
And what's great with Middleton is the Jets have a fascinating tight end room, so they should cover it a lot on the show. You have 2 veterans in Conklin and Uzama, and Uzama's got a great personality. He's a producer of Broadway shows. Maybe they follow him to a Broadway show as one of the features in the Hard Knocks storyline. Conklin's coming off an underwhelming year, but I think there's a lot more there. I think he's a good football player. Jeremy Rucker's the pride of Long Island. Do they cover that? The Lindenhurst kid, maybe taking on a bigger role in year 2. And, this Kuntz fella, 7th-round pick, freak athlete. Can he make the team? They'll cover him, and Ron Middleton coaching those guys up is going to be fun. Number 8, and this is what I'm the most excited to see in practice when they show highlights. Aaron Rodgers dropping back, throwing to Garrett Wilson with Sauce Gardner in coverage. That one-on-one battle. I had Darrelle Revis on this I was going to say radio show. That's tonight on ESPN New York. This YouTube show, 2 weeks ago? We had Revis on, and he said the next step for Sauce is just to keep grinding and get better and better. And he said he should go up against Garrett Wilson as much as possible in practice because iron sharpens iron, right? I'll tell you what, Sauce guarding Garrett Wilson in practice will make both guys better. But that's going to be an unbelievable storyline. And let's be real. Sauce Gardner's toughest assignment this year on the Jets schedule might be Garrett Wilson in practice. Think about that. That's how good I think Garrett Wilson is. You heard Rodgers compare him to Devontae Adams. Enough said. I said that before Rodgers even said that. But then when Rodgers became a Jet and practiced with him at OTAs, he was feeling the same way I did. Sauce Gardner versus Garrett Wilson, one-on-one in practice. That's going to be epic. You could give me, 40 minutes of a 57-minute Hard Knocks episode of just those two at practice, and I'm good. That's how pumped I am to watch that. And by the way, the thing I said about Sauce going against Garrett, that might be the toughest wide receiver he covers this year. The toughest corner that Garrett Wilson has to go against very well might be Sauce Gardner, who I believe is already the best cornerback in the NFL. So that's going to be fun. Number 9, another redemption type of arc here, but it's a little different than the 2 player arcs I mentioned in Mekhi and Zach Wilson. The Nathaniel Hackett comeback story. This guy was laughed at by everyone last year. He was a joke. one and done as a head coach, didn't even make it through the year. Right? Opening night, that Monday night in Seattle, Russ back against the Seahawks, completely bungled the 2-minute drive at the end of the game with the timeouts. And they settled for like a 65-yard field goal. Remember that? That's where it all started for Nate Hackett. He was a laughingstock. I mean, that's got to be just a humbling experience to finally get a chance to be a head coach, and you're one and done. You don't even make it through the year. And he seems like a great guy, honestly. The more interviews I watch of Nate Hackett and you hear all the things Rodgers has said about him, he's a guy I feel like you want to root for. And he's the reason why Rodgers is here. So I'm a Nate Hackett fan, baby. As long as he's not my head coach and he's the OC, we're good. Because some guys aren't good head coaches. That's okay. The Jets certainly have employed plenty of those type of coaches. Todd Bowles, Adam Gase. Right, there's plenty of guys. Eric Mangini was a great DC. He was not a great head coach. Josh McDaniels, I think, is the best example of this right now. He sucks as a head coach, but he was a really good OC. Did a great job with Brady, and you can't knock what he did his first year with Mac Jones, when Mac Jones played well as a rookie. Some guys aren't meant for it. But the Nate Hackett redemptive arc, I'm excited. Is redemptive a word, by the way? I don't know. I'm not smart enough to know. Redemption arc? I don't know. I think it's redemption arc, but can you say redemptive as well? These are questions I'm pondering here. But the point is, I think we're going to get a lot of Nate Hackett in this story here. And I think it'll be cool. He's the reason why that the Jets have Aaron Rodgers. Make no mistake about it. Woody Johnson's number 10 to wrap up my list. If you go back and watch 2010, Woody a little awkward in Hard Knocks in 2010. How involved is Woody going to be in the day-to-day operation of this football team this summer? He doesn't do a ton of interviews. But if you go back and watch Hard Knocks in 2010, he was all over that show. He loved the camera. He loved it. He loved wearing his bucket hats in Cortland, New York at training camp. Loved chopping it up with Rex and Tannenbaum. How involved is Woody? And I guess we'll throw Christopher Johnson in the mix as well. How involved are they going to be in what we see on the show? Woody couldn't wait to tell everyone the night of the draft when he made the phone calls to the Jets players they picked. You hear who our quarterback is? This guy Aaron Rodgers. You ever hear of him? He's pretty good. You know who this guy is? He couldn't wait to tell everyone that if you go watch all those videos the Jets posted. So how involved is Woody Johnson going to be in what we see in the Hard Knocks storylines here? So those are my 10. You know what's not on my list? Quinnen Williams channeling his inner Darrelle Revis and having a holdout where negotiations would need to take place at a diner. Maybe not the Roscoe Diner this time around, but some diner in New Jersey near the facility. That's not a storyline this year. Why? Because the Jets and Quinnen Williams got a deal done. 4 years, $96 million. Their best player from a year ago is signed, and that is not a Hard Knock storyline that we need to worry about, which is great. So with that being said, we're going to open it up now to your comments and questions. I have pinned the Gusbuster Umbrella hotline link in the comment section. You see I'm rocking the Circus Sports hat today. That's because spots continue to fill up for what's going to be an absolutely epic party in Las Vegas the weekend the Jets smoke the Raiders on Sunday Night Football. If you haven't signed up to stay at Circa, maybe this will change your mind. If you are planning on going to Las Vegas for the Jets and the Raiders on November 12th on Sunday Night Football, you need to stay at Circa Resort and Casino. Use my promo code JAKE15 to get a discount, and that discount also includes a 2-hour open bar party that I'm going to be throwing at Circa Saturday before the game. Can't wait to meet so many of you in person. It's going to be an incredible weekend. That promo code is live for those who want to go. By the way, that party that I'm throwing, we're right above the second level of the sports book. So when UFC is going on at Madison Square Garden that night, John Jones against Stipe, we will have a prime view as we're drinking beers, hanging out, talking Jets of UFC. I think it's $295 the night that we're in Vegas and the night of the party. Shout out to so many of you who've already booked your stay at Circa. I can't wait to meet you guys in person. It's going to be a blast. Quick reminder, for those tuning in, and it's before 6 p.m. through 10 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, July 15th. Tonight, I will be on ESPN New York. I'll be hosting a show for them for 4 hours. I got Nick Mangold as my first guest joining me at 7:30 Eastern time. So I can't wait to talk to the Jet legend himself, member of the Ring of Honor. So Nick Mangold, my first guest, he joins the show at 7:30 tonight on ESPN New York, 98.7 FM. You could download the ESPN New York app and listen if you're out of state. listen on your radio if you're in the tri-state area, or, of course, go to the ESPN New York website and stream the show there. With that being said, we will open it up now to your comments and questions. We can take your calls as well on the Gustbuster Umbrella Hotline. Let me get to this super chat first. This one's from Mr. D, who starts us off. Mr. D writes in, I don't think the left guard, left tackle is not going to make a comeback. I'm not sure if you remember me earlier before he played for us on your show. I told you of my concerns with him. I think he might lose his job. I don't think the left guard LT is... When you say LT, I'm very confused what you mean. Did you forget the A? Do you mean AVT? Oh, LT being Laken Tomlinson? Okay, I got what you're saying now, Mr. D. You don't think Laken Tomlinson is going to make a comeback. You were concerned with him before he joined the Jets. I don't remember you saying that, but if you said that, I mean, I guess you knew more than Joe Douglas on the Jets, who gave him a big contract in free agency. I like Laken Tomlinson. I'm hoping a new coaching staff around them could get the San Francisco 49ers version out of him. The other thing I'll say about that, when Aaron Rodgers is your quarterback, your line is automatically better because he gets the ball out quick and he will just put you in better spots as a lineman, as opposed to when you have a rookie or second-year quarterback who clearly was in over his head last year in Zach Wilson. Yeah, when Mike White was slinging it, Laken wasn't a big problem, if I remember. I think some of the offensive line issues are, one, injury-related for sure, but the quarterback play was just abysmal. Let's go to the calls for the first time today. Let's go to Weed Phone. Weed the People joins us now. Weed, what do you got? Uh-oh. Weed. Weed. We're on the air. And we lost Weed. Probably getting very high. Anthony wants to know, are you taking calls tonight? Yes, I am taking calls tonight. If you don't know the ESPN number, it's 800-919-3776. Going to open with the Yankees tonight because they play during most of my show, so I got to just unload on how pathetic last night was and how pathetic the season has been. I have a lot to say on that, and we'll start talking Jets in the 7 p.m. Eastern hour. Mangold joins us at 7:30, so get ready for that. Hennessy says, Mims is not making the 53. I don't think he's on the team either. I don't think he's going to make the team. Paul says, is the 98.7 show a one-time thing or a long-term spot? It's not a one-time thing. This is my second time hosting for them. I hosted the day after the Jets lost, or the night the Jets lost to the Seahawks after the Jet postgame show. But it's whenever they need me. It's a fill-in type of thing. My full-time job is here doing afternoon drive in Houston. So I'm not going to leave that to, do a shift whenever they might have one available, But the more opportunities, the better. And I'm so appreciative that John Winthrop and everyone at 98.7 is giving me this chance here. So grateful for that, and hopefully you guys tune in. It'll be a good time. Let's see. Derek writes in, Hard Knocks storyline is always, of course, the rookies we drafted and how they transition to the NFL. I do think they'll spend some time on that, Derek. But if you noticed in my storyline, I mentioned Tippmann battling for the center job. So that's kind of encapsulated there. I don't know how much Will McDonald we're going to get, really. There's just so many other guys. Kashmir writes in, Jake, are you comfortable with saying that Sauce Gardner is the best cornerback in the NFL? Yes. I feel that way. I don't think there's any team that would not take Sauce with their pick. I mean, he was first team All-Pro as a rookie. Gangrene Goliath says, do you think Lavernius Cole should be in the Jets Ring of Honor? How about Sean Ellis or Hitman Harris? I think all three should be in the Jet Ring of Honor. The Ring of Honor is not the Hall of Fame. Right? And if you were a great Jet, like Sean Ellis was, like David Harris was, like Lavernius Coles was, I think you should be in the Ring of Honor. I really do. You're not retiring their number. Like, there's something different about that. But, you look back on those guys' careers, Lavernius Coles was a Pro Bowler. Now, to be fair, he made that Pro Bowl with Washington, but he had 2 stints with the Jets. He was incredibly productive in both. I think you can make a case Coles belongs in the Ring of Honor. I definitely think Sean Ellis and Hitman Harris are ahead of Coles, though, for ranking it. Sean Ellis, I believe, needs to be in the Jet Ring of Honor. Maybe they do it this year. He played every year of his career with the Jets but one. He was on both the championship teams with Rex in 09 and 10, made the Pro Bowl in 09, made the Pro Bowl in 03. I mean, he was part of that 2000 draft where they had 4 first-round picks, him, Chad, Anthony Beck. Like, Sean Ellis, to me, is a Pro Bowler, was a really good Jet. He's a guy that should be in the Ring of Honor. And then look, David Harris, I mean, yes. David Harris was a fantastic Jet. He played his entire career with the Jets but one. Guy was so solid. You know what the biggest crime against David Harris? He never made a Pro Bowl in his career. How's that possible? Anyone who watched David Harris with the Jets knew how good of a middle linebacker this guy was. Great inside linebacker. I mean, he was the hitman. David Harris, I think, should be in the Ring of Honor. No question. Let's get back to the calls right now. Let's go to Johnny. He's up next on the show this afternoon. What's up, Johnny?
What's up, Jake? How you doing today, buddy?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Doing well. Hey, man, Q, man, he finally signed, right? Like, probably the best news. I was literally in the middle of a meeting, stopped the meeting. I'm like, hey, I just want to let everybody know. It was, I think, like 12 of us in the meeting that I was like, Q Williams finally signed with us. So I feel like we should have the rest of the day off, and they let us have the rest of the day off, which was
that is fantastic.
But I really, really feel like Hard Knocks is going to do a really like a cool piece about like Jeremy Ruckert and his dad growing up as a Jets fan and stuff like that. And
that'd be awesome if they follow Ruckert back home or they follow him up close in the preseason. He's going to play a lot in the preseason, so that's a great call by you. We're going to get a lot of Ruckert.
Yeah, because I keep hearing he's making so much noise, and he's the one to really look out for right now with the upcoming season and stuff like that. I mean, the reason I became a Jet fan was because of my father. I mean, I feel like, it's more of a generational type of thing of becoming a Jets fan. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We've had nothing to root for such a long time and things like that, and we're still there through the thick and thin of it all, right? And I would love also, I mean, they're probably going to do this. I would say it's a sauce piece. I don't know if you saw the piece he had yesterday when he was speaking with Ryan Clark and them and all that as well.
Yeah, he went on the I saw some clips. I have not had a time yet to watch that full interview on the Pivot.
Such an awesome interview on him. It was so raw, right? And he was just talking about how, he was a bad kid growing up, but his mom is who set him straight and stuff like that. So very relatable to it and things like that. So, I mean, that's what I think maybe they should play in Hard Knocks. I mean, who am I to say anything like that? But I think it would be dope, man. So, hey, but go Jets, man. Appreciate it, dude.
Great call, Johnny. Bonesy with a question. And submit some more questions, Jets-related, football-related, whatever. We'll keep the show going for a little while longer here. Jake, what roster bubble players do you think Hard Knocks will follow closely? I mentioned 2 of them before. I think Denzel Mims and Ashton Davis, they're on the roster bubble. I don't think they're a lock to make this football team. And I think they're going to follow very closely some of these kind of, undrafted guys that were brought in that are fighting to make the team. Who's the 6th wide receiver right now? They're going to do a deep dive on that. Could Jason Brownlee make the squad? How about Jerome Cap, D2 guy? Does he have a chance? Xavier Gibson, TJ Luther. Some of you are probably like, who the F is this guy saying? These are real players on the team. They got some rookies on this defense, but for the most part, the fascinating rookie competition storyline seemingly are on offense. Jay Claus says, Jake, do you think the Jets will be looking for cuts for other teams' quarterbacks to add to the roster? I believe it all depends on how Zach Wilson looks early on. I think it all depends on that. I would like them to sign A.J. McCarron yesterday. Right? I got Ira from Staten Island, who I know is going to be calling my ESPN show tonight, texting me, I want Bridgewater. Yeah, I want Bridgewater too. The Jets seemingly aren't going to add anyone yet. Arizona Jets says, I wasn't a big fan of Coles, but he was okay. J.Co. was my favorite. I'll tell you, if the Jets are putting anyone in their Ring of Honor, Jericho Cotchery needs to be there. 100%. Jericho Cotchery was an outstanding Jet. Outstanding Jet. One of the most underrated receivers in the league his entire career. Dude, Jericho Cotchery leaves the Jets. He goes to Pittsburgh, where he's incredibly productive for 3 years. Leaves the Steelers, then goes to the Panthers, and his last year was on that 15-1 Cam Newton, Panthers team that went to the Super Bowl. I mean, Jericho Cotchery in 2013 with the Steelers. 46 catches, 600 yards, 10 touchdowns. And the Jets, 2 years earlier, were like, we're good. We don't need you, Jericho. You only have the best chemistry with Mark Sanchez, but we're good. We're going to replace you with Derek Mason, who was a locker room cancer, and they cut in the middle of the year, if I remember correctly. What a joke. Jericho Cotchery should be in the Ring of Honor, though. That was an outstanding Jet. And you know what he did that not many Jets could say they've done? He owned the Patriots. How good was Jericho Cotchery against the New England Patriots? Remember that playoff game in 2006? He was the best player on the field that day. How about the playoff game again 4 years later in 2010? The big catch and run that set up, I think it was the quick slant touchdown to Braylon right before halftime of that game. 100%. H2O says, thanks for doing weekend content for us working dudes. I appreciate it, H2O. I mean, you typically will get a video on Saturday and Sunday, or at least Saturday or a Sunday. Very rarely we give you nothing. And this week, I think if I do a show tomorrow, we have done, let's see, I think we would have done 11 shows this week, which is insane because we had to do 2 shows on Monday and 2 shows on Tuesday with all the news. 2 on Monday, or I guess it was Tuesday and Wednesday. On Tuesday, I already had Marty Lyons coming on, and then Hard Knocks broke, so I did 2 shows that day. And then on Wednesday, I did a whole show, and then after that show ended, the Quentin Williams news broke. So we gave you 4 shows over the course of 2 days on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we had a show every other day this week. So we're grinding, baby. Hopefully some of you guys maybe work weekends or need something to listen to tonight could tune in to 98.7 ESPN. Maybe you could call into the show, and we'll talk Jets there. Let's get back to your calls right now. Let's see. Let's try the Weed phone again. Weed, we're coming to you. Hopefully it works. Weed, what do you got?
What's up, Jake?
Oh, he's at work. There we go.
Yeah, doing my thing, pumping gas,
Love it.
I can't wait to listen to you tonight. It's going to be great.
Thank you,
I can't wait for the one story for Hard Knocks. Which 2 Jet legends did Jake start shit with this time? Gonna be good. I can't wait for that episode.
If they want to play a clip from the interviews with Revis or Klecko, I give full consent to HBO and NFL Films. Go for it.
Oh, they better put you on there at some point. Anyway, have a good day, Jake.
Thank you, Weed. I appreciate it, man. Good luck pumping the gas today. Let's see. Johnny says, low-key, Jake's going to be on Hard Knocks. He can't say anything yet, though. I'm not hiding anything. I've not been told anything about me being on. Why would they put me on Hard Knocks? Could they use my voice in something? Maybe. That's happened before. But I don't think they're not putting me on Hard Knocks. I am going to the Hall of Fame game, though. I'm planning to go to Salah's press conference. So maybe I could get some, background camera action. Let's see. Jets Forever writes in, Zach throwing an interception is a rare occurrence. Stop acting like he's turnover prone. You know what also is a rare occurrence? Zach Wilson throwing a touchdown pass, you idiot.
Your comment was the dumbest thing I've ever read. Welcome to the Shadow Realm.
Gase is a great coach. Jet fans were clueless. I mean, they're dopes. They don't know anything.
By the way, good to have Jets Forever back. It's been a while since we sent you to the Shadow Realm. He had not been commenting for like a couple weeks. I was worried. I was like, did Jets Forever's parents finally, not plug him in? Right? I don't think he's a real person. I think he's a robot. I think he's like an AI bot. All right, back to the calls we go. We got Rich on the line. What's up, Rich?
Yeah, Jets Forever, by the way, was at his Catskill summer camp, for the last couple of weeks. 12-year-olds do that every year. I've been married 48 years. My kids left the home 23 years ago. So, we go to every Friday and Saturday night, we go to dinner and movies, my wife and I wanted to listen to you tonight. So one of my questions is, are you going to tape the radio show that we could listen to as a clip maybe?
It's possible. There could be some of that. I think no one told me, but I think they'll probably post the whole show as like a podcast on their website. So I'll put that out there when I get it.
That's great because I'd really love to listen to you.
Thank you.
Later.
Yeah, I hope I can get it to everyone who. I mean, it's let's be real. It's
Yeah.
it's a tough time, a Saturday night. But if people are driving around the tri-state, put it on.
Yeah, and the other thing is, we've had two Wilson things, and I loved your answer about getting a a backup and a lot will do with preseason. Here's always been my problem with evaluating backups in preseason is exactly what I'm going to say, Jake. The quarterback in the preseason is going against vanilla schemes, and when you go again, Zach's biggest problem is progression reads and not being able to distinguish schemes. So he panics after his first read because he's slow in looking at them. He's going to go against vanilla schemes. He's going to look halfway decent, because he's going to go against vanilla schemes, which you and I could read. So, where do who's got the IQ to look past that? And, my only way to evaluate him is to look at scrimmages against those two teams coming in when he's not going to go against vanilla schemes a little bit. They'll shift it up a little bit behind the scenes.
Yeah, good call, good thought. They do have joint practices with two franchises this summer, so there's something to be said for that, right? It's Carolina and Tampa are the two teams the Jets have joint practices with. So that's probably a better idea on like where Zach Wilson's at in his development, how he looks in that compared to as Rich was saying, and he's right, facing backups in the preseason with no game plan where it's very vanilla. And if you remember, Zach Wilson was pretty good in the preseason as a rookie. Like that part always gets left out. Casimir Black writes in, the Jet line has potential to be top 5 in the league. It should. They certainly have invested so much in that defensive line. If it's not that level of line, you got to be disappointed. I mean, what's the excuse? How many first-round picks are on that defensive line? Quinton Williams got paid, top 3 pick, first team All-Pro. Right? Jermaine Johnson, first-round pick. JFM's been paid. Carl Lawson's been paid. Will McDonald was added strength on strength. Like, this line's got to take off. They got to be the difference in these games late. That's how you win in the NFL, especially in the AFC, man. You got to get that fourth quarter pass rush. Can you be a game wrecker late? That's what they need. Cy Thompson says Aaron Rodgers is going to make this whole team accountable. He should. He should. He raises your expectation level. And he raises the expectation level for guys around him. Dane says, do I see Izzy getting a lot of carries in the preseason? Yes, but if he starts to look good, I think they'll be like, all right, we're good. We've seen enough. I saw it last year with Dameon Pierce with the Texans. 2 preseason games in, you're like, holy crap, this guy's going to be awesome. And then they didn't play him anymore. It's like, oh, we're good. Don't risk injury. Like if Izzy pops, it's good enough for me. Keep him fresh. Especially with Breece Hall coming off injury. You want to make sure that if Izzy looks really good early, you just don't risk him getting hurt. Let's go to Benny. He's up next on the Gusbuster Hotline. Benny, what do you got for us?
What's going on, Jake? How you feeling today, bro?
What's up, Benny? I remember I met you at a game this past year, right?
Yeah, I met you like twice, 2 different times. Yeah, bro. I think a big storyline is going to be the running back room, in particular Michael Carter, because we all know Michael Carter. He had the down year last year, but he has that bubbly personality. You see all the clips on Twitter and Instagram and whatever. He's always out in front of the camera. He's going to love it. I think he's going to be a star for Hard Knocks, and it's going to be interesting to see. Hopefully they do an episode on him where he explains what went wrong last year. I think he had a great rookie year. A lot of people were looking into Michael Carter as like, oh, he could be a really good RB2 once we drafted Breece Hall, and then kind of fell apart for him last year. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Michael Carter brings, and obviously the possibility of Dalvin Cook being in the mix. I think that running back room as a whole is going to be definitely an interesting storyline, and I look forward to seeing that.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's the storyline of like the current room, and then like, does it change? They add a Dalvin Cook or a Kareem Hunt, Leonard Fournette. Yep. They add a veteran. It totally adds to the intrigue of watching it on Hard Knocks.
Without a doubt. I appreciate you, man.
Great call, Betty. Love that hat. I think I have the same one. So that is an excellent job by you. Hennessy says, am I making it to the home opener? Maybe. I'm not ruling it out. The issue with the home opener for me is the Monday night. As cool as it is that they are on Monday night, I was hoping it'd be Sunday night because then I could make it. because to have to take a day from work the Monday after the NFL season starts, that's going to be tough that Monday. It just is, especially when I'm going to Dallas for week 2 already. So that's a lot. So I'm not ruling it out. You know, if I stumble upon a ticket, it's going to be tough for me to say no, but I'm not committed to opening night just yet. I am committed to week 2. I am committed to the Vegas game, and I am committed to the Black Friday game and probably the Christmas Eve game or Christmas Day, whatever. Was it the commies on the schedule that day? I figure I'll be at that too. And I'm committed to the Super Bowl in Vegas as well, assuming the Jets are in it. I see you guys there. Jay writes in, you know what I'm doing during the ESPN radio show tonight? Getting a snack. Ha! I'll tell you what. So I'm doing the show from my couch. I have all the equipment set up. I got 3 TVs in front of me. I'll have the Yankees and the Mets on. And you know what I'm the most excited about, Jay? Being able to run to the bathroom and have the shortest commute of my life doing a radio show during this 4-hour extravaganza this evening. So I feel you, man. I'll be having a snack too during the commercial breaks. That's for sure. Jason writes in, if Bob Saleh doesn't tell the players to get a goddamn snack, then Hard Knocks is a waste. They need to bring Rex back for a practice just so HBO has good reason to roll in the famous snack speech, and then you have Rex interacting with Saleh at practice. If Rex is not back, we all failed. Rex needs to make a cameo at a Jet practice this year. I think he will, too. I think he will. And they got to get Namath back, too. Namath visited the Jets in Cortland in 2010. He was pissed Sanchez didn't know how to handle a snap in the rain. That was a funny scene in 2010. You think A-Rod can elevate Zach? No, I don't. But I hope he does. I'm not counting on it. I'm not like the Zach Wilson truthers who say, Rodgers, he comes in and Zach Wilson is able to absorb everything and he's magically going to be Aaron Rodgers in 2 years. I don't buy that. Do I think Aaron Rodgers can help Zach be better? Yeah. But do I think he's going to make Zach Wilson a Pro Bowl level corner or a quarterback like some have said? I don't. I do not. G Stuck says, does Bryce Hall make the roster? I don't know. He's fighting for a spot. I would say no. But we'll see. Mr. Bonesy, you're up next on the show today. Bonesy, what's up, man?
What's up, buddy?
You working on a Saturday?
Are you working on a Saturday?
Well, I'm doing this. I'm doing a 4-hour radio show. I did 20 hours of radio Monday through Friday here in Houston. I'm always working, man. This is what I do.
You're the grind. You're the most grind. You define grind.
I mean, is this really work? Come on now. I get to talk about the Mets and the Yankees and the Mets. I mean, come on now. I get to talk to Nick Mangold tonight. We're not really working here. We're not splitting the atom here. It's not that hard.
You're excited for tonight, man. I love this opportunity for you, man. We gotta do our due. We have to do our job. I'm telling everybody, we have to call in tonight. You have to have those phone lines blowing up. This is our boy. I mean, if there's any chance for us to support you, this is, to me, I feel like this is important.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think you just listening, spreading the word, telling people to call or just telling people to download the app and listen or tweet ESPN. Like, that's super helpful. Like, I appreciate it, man. I'm pumped. It's going to be fun. We're talking about sports for 4 hours. What's better than that?
And you got Mangold coming. It's so dope.
Yeah,
I wanted to ask you, with Hard Knocks, right? I feel like I just asked you the question in chat, and you said Mims and Davis. I think you're right. I feel like Mims is a good target because Jets forever. Close your ears, buddy. He's on the bubble hard, and he's somebody who, because I have this thought that Hard Knocks makes bubble players get good exposure that could open up trade value. Like, I feel like following Mims, he's got the size and the speed, like, people slob over. So it's like, if he could just show up in preseason, we could get his story rolling, maybe we could get something for him, because I don't know what 6 wide receivers are going to make the team. Like you said, all those. Remember Irv Charles had some, weight on the chain, too. We had so many people. I feel like Rodgers is going to want to pick somebody, to a diamond in the rough that he has like fun in camp with or something to make the roster. So we'll see what happens. I also think Jets forever. He's so scared to show his face on Gusbuster. Perfect time. Call into ESPN. No one will see your face. You can, say a little something, man.
Yeah, good luck with that, man. You think he knows how to, actually get through a call screener and be able to get on the radio? I doubt that one.
Just tell his mom to help him. He got his
Yeah.
mom just helping out,
That might be the
Kill
key.
it tonight, Jake. Kill it tonight, my guy.
Thank you, man. Means a lot. I love your support, man. Thank you, of course, for being part of the Patreon and the Discord chat and all that. So thank you so much, my friend. I saw someone ask what time is Mangold coming on with me tonight. Nick Mangold will be joining me at 7:30 Eastern time. So I'm on 6 to 10 Eastern, 7:30. Nick Mangold's calling in. We'll get him on the show. Talk Jets and talk about Hard Knocks, man. Nick Mangold knows a thing or two about being on Hard Knocks, huh? How about that? Yeah, the point that Bonesy's making, though, about the wide receiver. Yeah, who is the sixth and final wide receiver? If it's not Mims, Gibson, Brownlee, Luther, Cap. I mean, who are these guys? Charles Irvin? Charles Irvin was good last year. And you know what? Can Mims showcase himself in the preseason where maybe they could actually trade him this year? Because I don't think they want him on the team. He doesn't play special teams. Or he doesn't play it at a level they're comfortable with, clearly. I mean, Brant Boyer didn't want to use him. So, I don't know. We'll see. And I'm rooting for Mims. Like, I personally don't think it's going to work here, but I'd love to be wrong. Like, you know what I root for? The Jets. I don't root for my opinions to be right. I'm not happy that, I had to say the Jets needed to move on from Zach Wilson. That doesn't make me feel good. It actually pains me deep down inside. Like, you know what I root for? My football team to win, which I have not seen in a very long time. And you talk about actually winning it all. I've never seen that. And I suspect most of my audience was not around when the Jets won last. Think about that. All right, here we go. We got a who's who of back-to-back callers here. I encourage everyone to grab the bleep bar because here we go. Charles, you're first up. What do you got for us, buddy? How are you?
How you doing, Jake? I'm doing good. Congratulations on hosting ESPN Radio tonight in New York.
Thank you, Charles. Appreciate you, man. And I like your little graphic there. In JD, we trust. I'm with you.
Damn right. I think he's done a really good job in setting up this team for success. I don't know why there are Jet fans that are uncertain of him. I think they're idiots. Excuse my language. Look, man, last time we saw the Jets on Hard Knocks, they went back to the AFC Championship game. Hopefully this is good. They could definitely use some publicity. I mean, they are definitely being built the right way. They're trying to establish players in the trenches on the offense and defensive side of the football. My main concern is the health of the players. Not that they can't handle the cameras and stuff, like the physical health, like the offensive line. We haven't had a good offensive line since 2015, and I've said that multiple times. Hopefully, Mekhi Becton stays healthy. He looks great. Hopefully, Laken Tomlinson bounces back. Hopefully, Dwayne Brown puts up a pretty decent performance this year. And hopefully Breece Hall comes back healthy, because Breece Hall's a stud. To me, he's probably the best running back we've had. I mean, Chris Ivory was good, but he couldn't really stay healthy most of the time. And hopefully Breece Hall's the best running back we've had since Thomas Jones.
Yeah, look, I think he's got that type of talent. I think Breece Hall, and good call, Charles. NFL executives, scouts, and players, they took part in that annual, Jeremy Fowler ESPN top 10 list. And Breece Hall was an honorable mention. He played 7 games last year. But the thing about Breece Hall was there were people that apparently voted him top 5 as a running back after 7 games last year. That's how special he was. I mean, we saw it. Like, he was going to win Rookie of the Year if he didn't get hurt. I truly believe that. And the fact that Garrett Wilson won it after is just incredible. But, yeah, he's got to be healthy. But, Breece Hall's healthy. He's the best running back the Jets have had since probably Curtis Martin. Seriously, that's the level of talent I think Breece Hall has. Look, Thomas Jones was amazing. It was a very short run, right? 08 or 07, 08, 09. He was great, but the Jets obviously had incredible offensive lines during that time. LaDainian Tomlinson gave them a nice year in 2010. Sean Green was a really nice player for a couple of years, right? Ivory was good in 2015, 1,000-yard rusher. Bilal Powell was always solid, but they have not had this game changer type of running back probably since Curtis. And that's what Breece Hall could be. I mean, that's really what he could be. He's that special of a player. And that's awesome. All right, up next on the Gusbuster Hotline, joining us for the first time since Gator impersonated him, here comes V-Man. What's up, V-Man?
Hey, Jake, what's up?
Where are you joining us from?
Hospital. I'm visiting my grandmother.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. How's she doing? Everything okay? No? Well, we're all thinking of you, V-Man. We're all here for you.
Yeah, no, congrats on getting on ESPN.
Absolutely, man. Well, we're more concerned about you, though.
Thanks for giving me and my grandmother your best wishes.
Absolutely.
No, yeah, I'm looking forward to Hard Knock. Honestly, it could be fun. I don't think I've ever actually watched it, but be able to, just to see, not just obviously the big name stars that we're all looking forward to, Reese, Garrett Wilson, Sauce, maybe the A-Rod. Also seeing the smaller, lesser known guys that you never know, they may have a big impact on the season.
Yeah, no doubt. It's going to be fun as a fan. Like, you're going to have an extra thing to watch every week. Like, it's not just like, it's not, these shows aren't edited on iMovie, right? Like, you got an incredible amount of production that goes into making Hard Knocks what it is.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
V-Man, I want to wish you and your family the best, and hang in there, okay?
There she is.
Hello to V-Man's grandmother.
Yeah.
V-Man, you have a good day, okay? Hang in there.
Thanks.
There we go. V-Man, check it in. Prayers up to you, V-Man. Sorry to hear what you and your family are going through, and we're sending our best wishes to your grandma, obviously, during what I'm sure is a difficult time. Let's keep going here. A couple more comments, and then we'll wrap up. Good to see the comment section. Wishing love to V-Man. Adam says, worst Jets back of all time, Matt Forte. Matt Forte is not the worst Jets back of all time. He's not. Was he great? No. But he was productive in 2015, no? Or do they have him in 20? Do they have him? I don't know. Matt Forte, he was near the end of his career. They've had worse running backs than him. They definitely have. A Fungus says, Mims has never scored a touchdown. To give you a Mims stat that I like to bring up to the Mims truthers, Zach Wilson has scored more career touchdowns than Denzel Mims. Just saying. Jason writes in, Corey Davis will not be on the roster. Money isn't guaranteed. Doesn't play special teams. I think he will be on the roster. They need talent at that position. He's still a talented player. I think he's going to take a pay cut, Jason. I think what the compromise going to be is they'll guarantee a salary if he agrees to a pay cut. And that's what's going to end up happening. By the way, I'm thinking of worst running backs in Jet history. This team took Blair Thomas in the first round. I mean, come on now. Matt Forte, worst running back in Jet history. Are you nuts? They used the second overall pick on Blair Thomas. Enough. A good job by the comment section here, all over it. Back to the call as we go. Let's go to Matthew. He's up next on the Gusbuster Hotline. What's up, Matthew?
Hey, Jake. Thanks for taking the call. I appreciate it. Blair Thomas, real quick on him. Everyone thought he was going to be a home run. Like all the scouts. So the Jets whipping on him are just the Jets' luck of whiffing because everybody thought he was going to be good. But another point. I know you've said this multiple times. I'm so excited about the season, but what is the thinking with Joe Douglas with Zach Wilson as the backup? You had Gardner Minshew out there, right? You're getting all the chips are in the table for this year and maybe next year. Do we not know something that he knows, like about Zach, that he's improved? I just don't get it. How can we not have that Gardner Minshew backup type? I don't know.
I agree with you. I think part of it is Zach's one of the higher paid players on the team because of his contract. So maybe they don't think they could squeeze in a backup salary at a high number. But that was then. Now it's July 15th. AJ McCarron and Teddy Bridgewater aren't getting big numbers. They probably will get $2 or $3 million. To me, that is a worthwhile investment to make sure that if Rodgers rolls his ankle and has to miss 3 games, you're not screwed. And look, maybe Zach Wilson would be better than those guys, but bring them in and have a legit competition for QB2.
Yeah, definitely. And congratulations on the 30,000. I can't wait till you get to 100, man. I mean, you're gonna.
Thank you.
Congratulations and continued success.
Great call, Matthew. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, look, I want a backup quarterback badly, but maybe they're truly just going to wait to see how Zach looks the first. They get an extra week before anyone, right? Yeah, maybe if Zach Wilson comes back from this, this 6 weeks off and stinks, maybe then they sign Teddy Bridgewater or someone. Maybe that's what it is. They're like, we have an extra week before anyone. Let's wait. Johnny with an underrated storyline. The Williams brothers playing for the same team. Yeah, Quincy's got a personality, man. I suspect we'll get a lot of Quincy Williams mic'd up sound on Hard Knocks. He's funny. Quincy's funny too. H2O says, hit the like button before we're done. Amen. Jets Forever says, how is Corey great and Mims weak? Are you trying to say that Denzel Mims is somehow better than Corey Davis? I'm sure you are, but that just shows you you're delusional. Is Corey Davis great? No. Has he been underwhelming as a Jet? Yes. He can't stay on the field. He's missed 50% of the games. But when he plays, he's been a productive player at times. How many touchdowns has Denzel Mims scored as a Jet? The answer is you have the same amount, Jets Forever. One last call, then we'll wrap it up here. Ricky NY. We're bringing in Rivera. Ricky, what do you got?
Hey, how's it going, Jake? You know what? I was just thinking about. Yeah, I was just thinking about something. 11 years ago today, at this exact time, a player who started out in college at Pitt and went on to become one of the greatest Jets ever, and a beloved player to our fan base, was getting ready to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And that same thing is going on again right now. Man, I'm stoked. I'm so happy to see it, not one, but two Jets going into the Hall this time. Yep. And as far as Hard Knocks, I was thinking back when Hard Knocks was going on, not only did we have Revis, but we had Cromartie too. So it was like we had two number one corners. And guess what we have right now? Two number one corners. Just everything just seems to be kind of repeating in a way. So let's hope that means we're going back to the FC Championship game with maybe a little bit different result this time.
Yeah, sign me up.
Go Jets.
Good call, Ricky. Sign me up. Super chat from Barney cuts the line. Here's the storyline. Jets are going to be good. They better be. See, the difference between this year and 2010 is they were good in 09. Now, the record wasn't great, but the run in the playoffs had you excited for year two of Rex. Sanchez taking a big step, which he did. His numbers got better, but he was never, a great quarterback, but he was very, very good in the playoffs. And, some of the other pieces they added to that team, right? They added LaDainian Tomlinson. They traded for Antonio Cromartie and Santonio Holmes. Braylon Edwards was acquired in 09 in the middle of the season. They had him for the full year that season. That 2010 offseason, Mike Tannenbaum did a great job. He did. The stuff after 2010 is where my issues with Tannenbaum start. Once Mangini left, the drafting sucked. Kyle Wilson, that was a 2010 man. Maybe the 2010 Jets would have actually beaten the Pittsburgh Steelers if they hit on their first round pick in 2010. Who knows? Probably not, but that was the year they took Kyle Wilson. He sucked. He was awful. He stunk. And then they took D. Milner a few years later. Just a tremendous job by the Jets. They finally got a corner pick right with Sauce. And to be fair, Michael Carter was a very good pick by Joe Douglas as well. But Sauce is a bona fide superstar. He's the closest thing to Darrelle Revis the Jets have had. And it's not even close. Dane says, will the Jets ever go back to Cortland? Probably not. If they do, though, they should go back to Ithaca instead. Or go to Ithaca. You see, here's the thing with Cortland, Dane. Cortland girls poop. That's all I'm going to say. All right, that's as an Ithaca alum, that's what I'm supposed to say. The Jets are not allowed to go back to Cortland until Cortland beats Ithaca in a quarter jug. They just haven't done it. They have to. Everyone tell Will Parkinson that Cortland is owned by Ithaca College. H2O says the Jets and the Bengals will be the two best teams in the AFC. They might be. It's possible. I think the Jets could beat the Bengals because I think the Jets pass rush should be a huge edge on a Bengals offensive line that's in flux. Harris says, good luck later on tonight. Thank you, Harris. Hopefully you can tune in. Be on in a little less than an hour and a half. That's honestly the reason why I'm doing the show right now. Like, what else am I doing? I'm just going to sit around all day till 6 Eastern? I'd rather talk Jets with the YouTube folks, and then we'll talk Yankees, Jets, Giants, Saquon Barkley. Got a lot to say on that from 6 to 10 tonight. Jets Forever says, what has Corey done? Are we still really on this what has Corey done compared to Denzel Mims? If you want to argue Corey Davis is not great, I agree with you, Jets Forever. But your argument is Mims is somehow better than Corey Davis. Denzel Mims has never scored a touchdown in the NFL. All right? Corey Davis in his career has scored 17 of them. All right? He had 2 last year and 4 in only 9 games with the Jets in 2021. His quarterbacks since he's been a Jet have been Zach Wilson for most of those games. Is Corey Davis great? No. Is he overpaid? Yes. Is he probably going to take a pay cut? Yes. Is he a good blocker, though? Yes. Is he productive, and has he not made some clutch catches for this team over the last 2 years? Yes. Do I think with Aaron Rodgers throwing him the ball, he has a chance to probably have his best statistical season as a Jet so far? Yes. And most importantly, is he better than Denzel freaking Mims? The answer is yes.
Nobody likes your comments. I need you to go to the Shadow Realm.
And the Jets are kind of dysfunctional and not a perfect roster.
And now they get an F.
Come on with the Jets nonsense.
I mean, only Jets Forever can get me warmed up for this ESPN 98.7 show. I mean, just it's insane. Jets Forever is actually Asante Samuel, as Daniel writes in the comments. I see. He might be onto something. Johnny says Stephen Hill was a player I thought was going to be good. Honestly, Stephen Hill's a better football player than Denzel Mims. Stephen Hill at least scored a touchdown with the Jets. I haven't seen Denzel Mims do that. I haven't seen that one. I mean, good God. What are we doing? What are we doing? So ridiculous. So ridiculous. All right, we're going to end it right there. So I'm on ESPN New York tonight. So I'd like to quote the great Bart Scott here before we wrap up. Here's how I'm feeling about being on ESPN New York tonight.
To all the non-believers. To all the non-believers. Anybody can be beat. We're pissed off. People gave us no chance, like we barely made it in playoffs. We're a good football team. For all you non-believers, disrespect us, talk crap about the defense like we ain't the 3rd best defense in the league. All we hear is about their defense. They can't stop a nosebleed. 25th in the league, and we the one to get disrespected.
Congratulations. See you in Pittsburgh.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. I'll be on ESPN New York tonight. Once again, 6 to 10 p.m. Eastern. Nick Mangold, my first guest, at 7:30 Eastern time. Looking forward to talking to one of my favorite athletes, favorite Jets of all time. Jay, I love you. I saw this super chat at the buzzer here. Shut up, Jets Forever, you robot Mims lover, everyone. What a way to end it. Thank you to everyone who tuned in today. Please like this video on your way out. Hit the subscribe button on the right-hand side of your screen if you haven't already. And I'll talk to you guys tonight on 98.7 ESPN New York from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern. Have a good weekend, everybody, and we will talk to you soon. Big things coming. Training camp upon us. Can't wait to celebrate this season with all of you as we move forward. Have a good one, everybody.